Greetings YouTube, this is the Salty Sailing Carolinian back with another video. Today's video is going to be on my great Aunt Jackie. My great Aunt Jackie is my mom's mother's sibling, my grandma's oldest sibling. She is currently in her mid-80s. She is the closest relative that lives within an hour of me, so it's easy to drive to go out and see her on an afternoon that I'm not busy. I do have other relatives that live closer. However, my Aunt Jackie is the closest relative out of those relatives that I know the best. So I go see her the most often. When I found out that I would be stationed on a ship home ported out of Norfolk, if I remember correctly, I told my parents, and then after I told my parents, I told my Aunt Jackie because I know that she would be excited that I was going to be stationed where I would easily be able to come visit her often. When I first got to Norfolk, she was instrumental in helping me escape Norfolk on weekends when I didn't have my car due to me getting ready to do underways and a deployment. Throughout my time in Norfolk, she has treated me out a lot and took me to restaurants like Olive Garden, Ruby Tuesday, Applebee's, and local restaurants to her area like City Grill in Elizabeth City, Captain Bob's in Hertford, and Nixon's restaurant in Rocky Oak/Edenton. She also made numerous home-cooked meals for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. A lot of the time when I came to her house, I would help out with cleaning, dusting, and help her out with doing tasks like taking her car to the car wash, taking trash to the dump, helping with various tech support issues that she needed help with her computer, phone, or tablet. I always enjoyed my visits with her, even though as time went on, I started to feel a bit bad because my visits with her would be about 15 to 30 minutes of interaction with her during the probably 6 or 7 plus hours that I was at her house. Probably about 15 to 30 minutes of interaction. I'd say over time I felt bad about this because to me, from what I started to think was that I was just coming and spending time at her house rather than coming and spending time with her at her house. Recently, I let her know this, and I let her know how much I appreciated her not saying anything or getting mad at me. I let her know that I greatly appreciate her for being willing to provide me a space at her house where if I needed time to myself, I could go upstairs to this room right here, and if I wanted to sleep, if I wanted to be on the internet, or if I just wanted privacy, I could go up here and get some time to myself. Over the past couple of months, I haven't been to see her as often as I had been. This is mainly due to me finally having friends I hang out with outside of work on a constant basis, whether it's going to the Liberty Center on base, going to Jollibee or Red Ribbon, or going to the zoo or aquarium or amusement parks, concerts, beach trips, or even going to bars and clubs to go out and do some karaoke or have a few drinks. I will never be able to fully repay my Aunt Jackie or help her understand just how helpful and appreciative I was that I got to come to her house as often as I did while I've been in Norfolk. Just recently, she provided me a place to quarantine when I had COVID-19 back in July. And that was something I was more than appreciative for because there's either spend the night at her house for a few days or about a week or so, or go to a hotel and overnight there for a few days. And that was a challenge, but I got through COVID-19 and I greatly appreciate her giving me a place to stay at and cooking meals and bringing me food when I had COVID-19. Another thing I really enjoy about my Aunt Jackie providing me her place as a place to stay at is she's a relative who was okay with me bringing alcohol to the house. So that way I could have a place to drink if I wanted to drink on the weekend. Her only condition for that was if I was going to drink, I was not to drive that day at all. That if I was bringing alcohol and had any intentions of drinking it while I was visiting her, I would not be driving that day. I would spend the night at her place. And I did that. I would make sure that I abided by her rules. I could never repay her for that because that gave me a place where on weekends, if I wanted to drink any beer or any whiskey or bourbon, whatever, gave me a place where I could stop by and not have to worry about hopping in my car or getting an Uber back somewhere. I also have enjoyed times when she went out of town for a few days or about a week where she let me stay at her place if I wanted to. I remember whenever I had a chance to stay at her house and just stay off the ship, I would do that. I would come to her house for about a week and just make the drive from her house towards my base, which is about an hour drive, so about 2 hours a day in my car getting to and from work. And if you're curious why I would go to her place, why I wouldn't go to an apartment, I lived on my ship my whole time in Norfolk. I lived there because back when I did my first tour in the Navy, I had crappy finances, but then I also had trouble getting an apartment and finding availabilities to get an apartment and finding people that I was okay with having as a roommate or moving in with. I'd say I'm a bit emotional at the moment, but I posted this video today because I know I am in the middle of, well, actually towards the end of what is my last visit with my Aunt Jackie for quite some time. There's not going to be any more afternoon visits or weekend visits when I'm off work or free for the weekend. It's definitely going to be a tough time because I know there are a few times coming up where I'll be free for a couple days and I won't have anything planned. However, I won't get to spend time with my Aunt Jackie. Just a little bit ago, we had burgers, baked beans, and chips. And that's a simple yet always tasty dinner. She's about to go on a trip very soon and won't be back until I'm on the way to a place where I'll be at training for a few months. And she probably won't see me until I get back sometime early next year. Leaving her this evening is going to be a bit sad and emotional for me. It's going to feel like how it did when I left for boot camp in 2016. I don't feel like how it did whenever family members or friends came to visit me when I was in Florida or in Maryland. Usually now I try to make goodbyes fast, but in a little bit I'll probably take a bit of time. Even though I have a concert to get to tonight, I'll try to show her this video before I leave. Within the last year, I'd say our relationship as family members is stronger than it ever was. And the memories that I spent with her in the last few years, and even in the past, the time that I've spent with her and memories that we've made will last a lifetime. She has told me that I'm the next best thing to a grandson, which means a lot to me because she doesn't have any kids or grandkids. So the fact that I'm on a level where she considers me like a grandson, that means a lot to me. Shows me how much she cares about me and how much she loves me. Anyways, please like and subscribe to my channel and like this video. Thank you.